Hi. I'm just 2 minutes early today, which is fine. I'll let you guys get on and get settled. I'm solo today. Well, I'm solo and a half. We got Wiley. Say hello to the people. Say hello. And he slides down. Okay, so while you guys get settled, I'm going to get settled too. And I'm just going to start the watch party. And get this tilted. Cool. I hope you guys are good today. And let me just see all kinds of things going on. And today we have an awesome book for us. So it's the last one in the first batch, which is really cool. There we go. Yay. I think I'm watching myself. Okay, it's good. I need to hire a producer, I think. I think it's almost time. Wiley likes that idea too. Okay, let me just share this to the LL21C page. People can find us. So today, Madam President, take one. 5 women who paved the way. So this is about 5 really powerful, beautiful women who paved the way. It's written by Nicola D. Gutgold with Abigail S. Kennedy. And I'll just read that back while people join. When the first woman president moves into the White House, in addition to thanking her campaign workers, family, friends, and the voters, she'll thank the many women throughout history who paved the way. As lawyers, judges, senators, congresswomen, diplomats, governors, and more, women have changed the face of American politics over the past century, making it easier for women of the future. Among these historic women are presidency: Margaret Chase Smith in 1964, Shirley Chisholm in 1972, Patricia Schroeder in 1988, Elizabeth Dole in 2000, and Hillary Clinton in 2008. And since this, there have been several other women running for president. There's several actually in this campaign, which is really awesome. I'm just looking at what year it was written. So right, it was written in 2015. So since then, there's been other women running besides Hillary Clinton, which is really awesome, which means we're getting closer to a woman president, which will change the landscape a lot of our government. So let's see here. Almost ready. And I like this book because it's illustrated really beautifully. So let's do it. Madame President. My nose is itchy today, so I know I'm not supposed to touch my face, but I am, and I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. We have over 40 presidents in the United States since the country began. We're actually up to 45 right now. Since the country began, and all of them have been men. But did you know that many women have also run for president? They have been trying for decades and will keep trying until they succeed. Sometime soon, a woman will be elected president of the United States. It could be you, if you're a woman, of course, if you're a girl. But you know, for the little boys watching, you could be president as well. This is important. Margaret Chase Smith ran for president of the United States in 1964. While Margaret Chase was still in elementary school, to pay for the things she wanted, she started working at a 5 and dime store and helping out her father's barber shop. Margaret liked staying busy and feeling independent. In everything she did, she was a leader. She also loved to play basketball, and when she graduated from high school, she became a coach for her high school team. Later, Margaret worked as a telephone operator and a newspaper writer, and she got involved in the professional women's clubs. She married Clyde Smith, who became a congressman, and she became politically active too. When Clyde became ill, he suggested that she run for his seat, which she did, and she won uncontested in 1940. So there's a couple of big words in here in this book throughout. So a congressman is someone who goes to Washington to represent their state, and then uncontested means that she won it outright. And 1948, Congresswoman Margaret Chase Smith ran for the Senate and won in a landslide. The only woman among 99 men in the entire United States Senate. Margaret worked hard to be heard. There weren't even women's restrooms near the floors of the Senate and House of Representatives in the Capitol building, where the members of Congress would meet and vote on laws. She had to walk 10 minutes to the tourist section to use the facilities, but Margaret did not let inequalities like that stop her from succeeding. That's a long walk to the restroom. But a lot of women in history had to walk a long ways. When she cared about something, she bravely spoke out when no other senator would, and people started to notice her. In one of her most famous speeches, she said, "I speak simply and briefly in the hope that my words will be taken to heart." Her words did have a big impact on the country, and she received many letters asking her to run for president. Just like when she was young and wanted to earn her money, she decided she would use her own funds instead of others for her presidential campaign. She told people that by running for president, even though she might not win, she would be helping a woman get elected in the future. If nothing else, she said she wanted to make the way easier for the women to someday become president. Go for your dreams, because even if you don't succeed, you may inspire others to try things that seem out of reach. What do you dream of doing? I dream of doing this, having a show. Lady Liberty is the host, traveling, reading books. I want to know what you guys' dreams are. Drop a comment. Next, we have Shirley Anita St. Hill Chisholm. She ran for president of the United States in 1972. When Shirley St. Hill was a young girl, she and her two sisters went to the island of Barbados to live with their grandmother, while her parents worked in New York. Her parents wanted to earn enough money to buy their own home and to send their daughters to college. Shirley's grandmother was strict but very loving, insisting that Shirley and her sisters take education seriously. So this is Florida. Just to show you a little bit. Florida, and that's Central America. Like Cancun's over here, Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, and then there's Barbados, almost touching South America. Just to give you an idea where she was from, where her grandparents are from. Accepting nothing less than full effort, Shirley's grandmother helped teach a strong work ethic. After a few years of diligent schoolwork, Shirley and her sisters returned to the United States, where they were at the top of their classes. When Shirley graduated from college, she looked very young, and people hesitated to hire her. Shirley had to speak up for herself and prove she could work hard. Shirley found work as a teacher and a director at a child care center. From her school, she could see City Hall, and it inspired her to get involved in her community. Soon, Shirley began attending City Hall meetings. From there, she ran for Congress and won. There she is right there. People like to listen to her unafraid and passionate speeches. Shirley even said, "I have a way of speaking that does something to people." She was right. When Shirley Chisholm ran for president, lots of people came to hear her speak. She said, "Our time has come in America. We can't accept things the way they are." She talked to kids everywhere about how important it is to work hard in school and get a good education. Just seeing a Black woman run for president inspired many African Americans to achieve their dreams, even when others said they couldn't. What would you like to try that you think might be too difficult? Drop a comment. Let us know. What would you like to try? All kinds of stuff to do out there, especially just from home right now. Okay, on to the next. Patricia Schroeder ran for president of the United States in 1988. Patricia Scott, or Pat to her friends and family, was born in Oregon, but she moved around the country due to her father's job in the airline industry. As a young girl, Pat's parents taught her persistence. Pat was born with an eye defect, and when doctors told her father she might be blind by the age of 5, her dad refused to accept it. He traveled all around the country seeking medical care for her. Her parents also taught her the importance of saving money. In elementary school, each month her parents gave her a small allowance for her lunch and things she wanted. Pat learned that if she spent it all too quickly, she would not have any money left over at the end of the month. It was a valuable lesson that served her well throughout her life. When Pat Scott was a young girl, she wanted to fly. She followed her dream and earned her pilot's license at 15. Piloting planes helped to pay her way through college of the University of Minnesota. She even saved up enough money to pay for Harvard Law School, where she met her future husband, Jim Schroeder. All of their friends and family thought that Jim would become a politician, but he wanted Pat to run for Congress. She did, and she became the first congresswoman to be in office with young children. Pat Schroeder served 24 years in Congress, working for things that she cared about, such as childcare and other family issues, as well as improving benefits, healthcare, and living conditions for people in the military. During her presidency campaign, she talked about these issues with Americans around the country. Some policies in Washington, D.C. frustrated her, and Pat wanted leaders to be more open with the public. She is going to fly. How cool is that? She was a female pilot in college. Never heard of that before, huh? When she ran for president, she offered people honesty and common sense. After a presidential campaign, she toured the country with the Great American Family Tour, speaking about ideas on how to better raise a family. Public speaking is a way to share ideas about important issues with others. What would you like to speak out about? I'd like to speak out about equality. Lady Liberty really believes that everyone gets to have equal rights, equal chances. That's what I like to talk about in public. But I would like to know what you guys want to talk about. There's a lot of talk going on these days. Okay, next. Elizabeth Hannaford Dole ran for president in the United States in 2000. When Elizabeth Hannaford was growing up in North Carolina, her mother always encouraged her to be involved in community service and to always try her best. Liddy, as she was called, loved being a leader and being involved. She entered essay contests, read many books, and served as president of her third grade bird club. Her classmates admired her and voted her most likely to succeed. She served as president of her freshman class in high school and was elected student body president at Duke University as well, where she had quickly become a campus leader. After graduating, Elizabeth wanted to continue her education. While teaching at high school, Elizabeth earned her master's degree for education at Harvard University. Still, she didn't think her education was complete. She met with Margaret Chase Smith. Remember her? She was the only woman in Senate at the time, so Elizabeth asked for her career advice. She took Senator Smith's suggestions and earned another degree at Harvard Law School. President Reagan appointed her as Secretary of Transportation, the first woman to hold that position. Elizabeth also worked as the Secretary of Labor and President of the American Red Cross. Elizabeth is married to Senator Bob Dole, who was presidential candidate himself in 1996. When Elizabeth Dole ran for president, she said, "My presidency will make the kind of history that would reverberate around the world." That means kind of echo. Even though she did not win, Elizabeth addressed important issues such as improving healthcare and education. Later, Elizabeth ran for the seat in the Senate of her home state of North Carolina and won. As senator, Elizabeth was able to continue working to improve the lives of others. And then, are there any issues in the world that are important to you? Do you want to make a difference in other people's lives? What changes would you like to help create? You can tell me in here. And last but certainly not least, Hillary Rodham Clinton ran for president of the United States in 2008 and 2016. Young Hillary Rodham dreamed of becoming an astronaut. She wrote to NASA, but was informed that this was not an option for women. Even that disappointment did not stop her goals for academic excellence. Later, Hillary decided she could make an impact in a different way. She could help people through government. Hillary was diligent in her studies at Wesley College. After graduation, she was the first student to give the commencement speech in which she encouraged her classmates to practice what she called the art of making the impossible possible. Starting during her college days at Wesley, she began researching poverty, community development, and especially the unfair treatment of women and girls around the world. After graduating from Yale Law School, where she met her husband, Bill Clinton, Hillary worked as a successful lawyer at a firm in Arkansas. When Bill became the state's governor, Hillary started working to improve education, healthcare, and legal services for kids. When Bill became 42nd president of the United States, as First Lady, Hillary, strong and independent, traveled to more than 80 countries doing philanthropic work. Later, she was elected to the Senate, where she served from 2001 to 2009. In 2008, Hillary ran for president, receiving over 18 million votes, almost winning the Democratic bid. She made it further along the trail to U.S. presidency than any other woman in history. Her concerns were important issues such as healthcare, taxes, and military. Hillary received a lot of attention in the media. Sometimes reporters commented on her hairstyle or her choice of clothes instead of what was important, her vision for America. Hillary Clinton did not let the press get in her way. She kept campaigning to communicate what she truly believed. When President Obama appointed her Secretary of State, she traveled to 112 countries around the world to be of service to all people around the world. And then in 2016, she did get the Democratic nomination, which means in that party, she was the front runner. So she actually ran against President Donald Trump. No matter what obstacles lie ahead, it is important never to give up. What have you tried to unsuccessfully do that you would like to try again? Mine was biking. Bike. So that's the story. And then in the back of this one, we have a bunch of presidents, prime ministers around the world who are women, and then things to think about, and then women who've run for president in the United States, starting in 1872. So women have been running for a long time. And then, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the United States, women have only had the ability to vote for 100 years. This year, 2020, marks the 100th year anniversary of suffrage being passed, which means the women's right to vote. So if you are 18 or older, definitely exercise your right, no matter what gender you are, to vote this year, especially here in the United States. Follow your heart, do your due diligence, and if you're under 18, pay attention, because someday you will have that right, and it's really important. That's all I got today, guys. Oh, no, it's not. I have something else. So these are all the new books. We're going to be busy for the next month or so. And then I have some chapter books here. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to take a couple weeks and like read a chapter a day, I think, to do these. So the format will change a little bit. We won't be actually showing the picture books, but look how cool these are. And then on this Friday, so that's May 1st, I think that's May 1st, let me double check. This Friday, May 1st, we have a special guest coming on, and we're going to be reading Bunny Bath with my special guest. There's two guests, actually, with our special guest, Amy, which I'm really excited for you guys to meet her. It's going to be really fun. So with that said, I'll be back again tomorrow. Mr. Liberty will be back on Thursday. Wiley will be right here with me, and that's a wrap. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining.